Well, welcome to the Holistic Aficionado podcast. I'm your host, Rick, with my co-host, CJ, and we are here to give you spiritually uplifting, motivational insights on living your best holistic life. And today we're really excited because we have a special guest. Her name is Michele Nelson. She's a health life specialist, and she helps individuals reach their wellness goals through creating healthy meal plans, setting their kitchen up for success, and just kind of walking them through what it takes to live the healthy life that they want. Michele herself has struggled with weight issues from a very young age, but she managed to turn it all around. And to date, she's lost 250 pounds, and she's currently training to swim 12 miles long around the Key West in Florida. And we're just so excited because to us, Michele really represents the personification of determination, perseverance, and strength, and her story is so unique and so filled with up and downs. It's just amazing that she's come out of it the way she has, and we're excited for her to share that story with all of you guys and hope that you'll get value out of it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. So Michele, just to get started, take us all the way back to when you first decided to start this journey on being healthy and losing all the weight you did.
Man, I was going to try not to cry. My sons came home from school. After school, I'm a hugger. So after school, every day I give the boys a hug. My youngest son, David, he doesn't have a mean ounce of anything mean in his body whatsoever. So I know it wasn't vicious. But when he gave me a hug, he's like, "Mommy, I can't get my arms around you." I lost it. I absolutely lost it. That night, I decided I had to do something to change. I wanted to be here for the long haul. At that point, I was over 420 pounds. I don't know how heavy I actually got because at that point, when I saw 420 on the scale, I stopped getting on it. I stopped. So that night, I went through our pantry. I cleaned out our refrigerator. Anything that had processed foods like Velveeta cheese, that was one of their favorites. Kraft macaroni and cheese, that powdered stuff in that package, I know that's not real cheese. Everything went to the wayside. Moving forward, I started shopping at farmers markets to keep it local produce. Not only that, at that point, financially, I couldn't afford to go buy a ton of fruits and vegetables at the regular grocery store. Being a single mom of two hungry kids, I needed a lot more, little less money, but I needed it to go further. So I started shopping at the farmers markets, and I brought home as healthy produce as I could. Sometimes they didn't want it, like the sound of eggplant. They were like, "Ew, you don't like that." So then I would cut it up and make it into a dish. And I'm like, "Here's dinner." They're like, "What is it?" I'm like, "Just eat it. It's dinner. Eat what's served." Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until after the fact that they started eating it, then I would tell them what the ingredients were.
Gotcha.
That's a smart way to do it. Sometimes you got to make it sound better than it is for kids.
Yes, it's lasagna.
Would you say that your kids were like your test bunnies for the meal plans that you create for your clients now?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh, CJ, were you going to say something?
No, we can get into the first question if you'd like that.
Sure.
So what, regards to mindset, what was the mindset change that you had to do to make that decision to just throw everything away and start eating healthy?
Yeah. So that night that I refer to as my moment, my aha moment, that was really dark. At that time in my life, my thoughts were sad, depressed, if you will. And I really felt not just the excess weight that I was carrying, but I felt burdened. Probably by the way I was eating. I was sluggish. I didn't have a lot of energy. And I really feel like my brain wasn't functioning at 100% then. But being active now, it has definitely changed my mindset. My boys are teenagers now, 17 and 20, almost young men. But at this point in my life, they can't keep up with me. So my mindset and being active, it's amazing how much energy it took at that time just to get up off the couch and get started with whatever event I was going to go to, even if it was just going out to get the mail. That was painful. It was hard to walk that far to the mailbox. But I will say that being active has changed my mindset, definitely for the better. My only regret is that I didn't start this sooner.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's what we want people to hear right now, because sometimes, you get in a hole and it's even harder to get out of. So it really takes the extra effort to just say, I'm going to do it. And you have to stick to it, because sometimes people can get really inspired, really motivated, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. And they work out for like 2 hours a day for like whatever, a day, 3 days. Yeah. And then they get burnt out and they're like, oh, well, nothing happened, because that's kind of not how life works. You can't really just go at it for a couple weeks and think that you're going to see results. You have to stay persistent, and staying persistent is probably the most important part. And that's just mindset.
Yes, so, exactly. And being in a community that's very supportive, and it sounds like that's what your program is doing, is supporting those people that are holistically living, being involved and staying in touch with other people that are in the same journey that you are, whether they're trying to lose 20 pounds or 200. You have to be around people who are thinking that way, that this is the way I need to go. And the hardest thing usually is like being invited to a birthday party. Pretty innocuous, right? But how many healthy items do you see on the countertop? You see birthday cake, you see garbage, chips, and burgers and hot dogs. So I bring my own. I'll bring portobello mushrooms and balsamic vinegar if I know it's like hot dogs and hamburgers, and I'll ask them to throw it on the grill.
And that's what it takes sometimes too.
Right. You have to change the way you think to make it happen.
Yes. And, I'm glad you brought that up, because there were times in my life where I felt uncomfortable telling people about my intolerances to lactose, or even sometimes gluten I have issues with, because I didn't want to offend people. I didn't want to not eat their food. But what do you say to someone who maybe struggles to be open about their health needs and, that in general?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, now I embrace it. And whatever it is, like you say, the gluten, I totally respect that and will honor that, whatever it is. So if I'm the one that's hosting the birthday party, I'm not going to be offended if somebody says, oh, I'm sorry, I can't have that cake because I can't have gluten. Sorry, but I apologize for serving it or, making you want this, but, everybody else wants it. And for me, I'm diabetic. So I have to watch my sugar intake very closely. Even after I've lost all this weight, I still have to watch what I eat, not to take medication. Mm-hmm. That was my big goal as well back in 2012, 2013, was to get off all the medicines. Did you look at my webpage?
I did, yes.
Did you see the photograph of all the medication?
I was really surprised. I was like, wow, that's a lot to take.
It was. And it was $600 a month at the pharmacy. Those were my co-pays.
Right.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. Unbelievable. And that's not what people need. They don't need more to make something better.
Oh, no.
You can stop all that just from your diet, and it's all just staying proactive instead of reactive. You kind of want to prevent all of that instead of,
exactly.
You get overweight or whatever, and you'll just take pills, or you get depressed or whatever, and you take pills, and that's kind of how our society is.
Yes.
I can't say it's the best for everyone, and everyone kind of just needs to explore the more natural, holistic routes, which we're trying to promote.
Right. I know 10, 15 years ago, there were doctors that were doing just that. Oh, you have a headache? Here, let me give you a prescription for this. Oh, you're depressed? Here, let me give you a prescription for this. And so, every 2 minutes you're running to the doctor or to the pharmacy and you're putting more and more chemicals in your body, not knowing what doctor number 1 prescribed versus doctor number 2 prescribed could be counteracting inside of your body and waging war on your cells. So, and that's where I feel like I was really stuck. All my doctors weren't talking to each other.
Yeah, they were just putting Band-Aids on the issue.
Yeah.
So tell us about the process that you went through to change your mindset, because a lot of people talk about mindset being at the core of all the results you can expect for yourself, but I don't know that people know exactly how to go through that to develop the mindset that it takes to do it.
I think it really has to start with loving yourself. Once you acquire the ability, I went to counseling. I found a really good counselor, and she had me read a lot of books, a lot of books, and I don't stop. I mean, there are more books out there than you can shake a stick at, and I don't stop. So love yourself like your life depends on it was a really eye-opener for me. And I would encourage anybody to start with that. If they can't afford to go to counseling is a great thing. And listening to positive meditations, that would be an excellent way. I still do that at night now to help me get to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the biggest thing. Just keep on doing it. Like, you can't stop. That's what people think. They might go on like a 30-day, 60-day diet. And then once they feel good, they're like, oh, I'm to the point. Like, I'm going to stop now. But there's really no point, especially in life. Even with your weight and whatever, there's other struggles in life. And it just keeps testing you. So you can't stop.
No.
I've gone through cycles like that before. Through school, I've like been in dark places, and then, you get up again, you're like reading, meditating, working out. You're like, oh, I feel good now. And you back away a little bit. And then that's when life comes back and sneaks back in. And then
it kicks you in the butt.
Exactly. So that's the biggest thing. Just keep doing it. You can't stop.
No.
Yeah. And just speaking of that, I was really touched after reading your story, especially the part where you mentioned that every night after feeding the boys, you would go and you would swim with them, and you made sure no one was around because, at that time you didn't feel exactly comfortable being out and about, right? Doing your exercise routine. I was just like, I love this lady. I feel for her. And I know a lot of people feel that way. They're so self-conscious about getting started working out in the gym even. It's like a big deal for some people. Right. But you still did it, and you were consistent, and even though it was hard, you made it part of your plan. Mm-hmm. And so what do you tell people who are afraid to get started to make that change in their life?
Don't let fear stop you from doing anything. I mean, I look at the things that I do now, swimming out in the ocean. People tell me all the time I'm crazy. Yes, there are sharks, but I can't let my fear of sharks stop me from doing something that I love so much. It brings me so much joy. Yes, I pray as soon as I get in the water when I'm warming up. I'm like, dear Lord, thank you for the ability that I can swim today, and please keep your big beasties away from me.
Right. That's a good way to go about it.
I can definitely see that though. Because I grew up in the ocean, and I love swimming. I've been a beach lifeguard for 5 years now, and we swim out in the ocean all the time. And I've done the same thing every time I've gone surfing, whatever goes to the ocean. I'm like, please just keep the sharks away from me, Lord. I don't need this in my life. But I love doing it, and the ocean makes me feel great. So
I will tell you this in regards to fear. There's a lot of things where fear kept me from living my life. When I was heavier, I couldn't fit in a roller coaster. So when I set out and I set my mind to lose the weight, at first, I just really wanted to be able to fit in a roller coaster seat and be able to go to Aquatica or wherever with my kids and feel comfortable in the skin that I'm in. But eventually, it kind of evolved. I'd set a goal, I would meet that goal, and I would have to overcome whatever fear it was that I had to reach that goal. Can you see all those medals?
Yes, yeah.
Those are all fears that I've overcame.
Wow.
One way or another, that's why I have them up.
That's a great way to keep that
right.
too.
Those are fears that I got past, and I didn't die.
Well, and then each fear you conquer, it makes you stronger, so you can even go to the next step too, like how you are swimming 13 miles through the ocean around the Keys.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, would you have thought, how long ago were you 420 pounds?
7.5 years.
Do you ever think 7.5 years later you'd be training to swim around the Florida Keys?
I never thought I'd walk or do a 5K. Let alone a triathlon.
Yep, and it's all in your head too. You got to change that thinking pattern. Like
Absolutely.
You'd never do it, and then you didn't listen to those thoughts, and you kept doing it. So that's the whole thing. Your mind tries to tell you that you can't do it, but in reality, you can.
Yeah. I know I can do anything that I set my mind to do. If I have a dream and then I decide, okay, I'm going to go do this, swim around Key West. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds like fun. And then I just put the gears in motion and start training to get there.
And people might call you crazy, but you come out as the winner. You didn't listen to them, and you're like, I feel amazing. So
yeah, I'm the one that's living my best life. So if people want to call that crazy, let them call me whatever they want.
Definitely.
So how does it feel now where you are in life compared to where you were in the past?
Oh my gosh. I haven't found an adjective to describe how full of energy and full of life. Each day is something new. Yes, I have to work, but aside from that, in the morning I get up early and I go work out, or I go for a walk, or I go for a long swim. And then I watch the sunrise. And then usually in the afternoons, if it's not raining, I'll watch the sunset. And I feel grateful that I have the ability to live my life to the fullest. I can ride an airplane now and not have to have the extender. There's so many different things that at 400 pounds, I couldn't do before. And now I just want to go and do everything and live my life fully.
And that's just from diet and exercise. It's crazy. Yeah. Just 2 or 3 hours extra to your day of putting in a little extra effort, they'll change your whole perspective of life. And I'm sure it makes going to work easier. It makes anything that comes into your life just easier, because nothing really is worse than putting your body through the ringer and really pushing your body.
Yes, exactly. So this weekend I swam 10 miles, but I did it in the bad weather that we had. So it was a little bit more energy. It took a little bit more out of me to go and do those 10 miles. So yesterday I took the day off and I just took a time out and I rested. I needed it. I know I needed it. But I still ate well, even though I didn't exercise. But there's just some days you just have to practice good self-care.
Right. That has to be a continuous thing for yourself. And it's okay to have maybe one day here and there that you splurge, right? So
right.
That reward yourself a little bit for the hard work you're doing.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you about the work you do as a health life specialist. Tell us, first of all, why you decided to start a company to help other people, and also what is it that you provide to them?
Why I started to do this is because I feel like you have the Jillian Michaels, you have all the other trainers, personal trainers. What's his name? The Billy, the kickboxer guy. You have all of these personal trainers out there that are fit and muscular and really built. they probably have never been overweight one day in their life, let alone 10, 15 years. So I kept hearing from friends as I'm going through my life journey that they would take my advice over somebody like Jillian because I've been there, I've done that, and I've lost it. So I finally decided May 1st is when I started my LLC. And what I've been doing is trying to help my friends because I feel like I can empathize with them and I know what they're struggling with and help them overcome whatever fear, whatever challenge it is, whether that be walking to the mailbox like I did. And I know every step that I took to that mailbox was painful. I want to help people to be able to get to where I am now and enjoy their life, not be stuck on the couch taking 50 prescriptions or more, I don't know. But I just feel like everybody deserves the chance to have somebody as a team player like I can be and help them enjoy life.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And someone takes that motivation too, to know that there's more than just your life. There's other people in this world, and you can make a big impact on them, and that's going to make you feel great.
Yes.
So I really try to focus on that too, just trying to help other people because it's not about you.
Right.
Life is not about you at all.
Mm-mm.
And I've noticed that when I'm eating unhealthily, not working out, you kind of get in the stuck in your own head, and you kind of feel bad for yourself, whatever. But just making those decisions, it makes you actually want to help people more. And then the more people you help, the better it makes you feel. It's just a continuous cycle.
Exactly. I go down to Lake Eola and I feed the homeless. There was one day I was passing out gift bags to them with socks and soap and things. And I knew that one of the churches around the corner was passing out hot food. And I asked a gentleman that I came across, I said, "Have you eaten today?" He said, "No, ma'am, I'm really hungry." I said, "This is where you need to go over here." And I said, "What color socks would you like, white or black?" And I had 2 different bags. He said he preferred black ones, and I handed them to him. I said, "Have a blessed day." He looks at me and he's like, "You are a child of God." I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you so much for seeing that."
Yeah. We're all here to do the Lord's work in one way or another.
Exactly.
And I know that what you do definitely feeds your soul, right? Because that's what's important.
Exactly.
So what sort of programs do you offer to your clients?
Right now, I have a 3-month and a 6-month program. I haven't gotten any further than that officially. But basically, it's the same thing. The amount of time and the number of coaching sessions is really what changes. I will put together the meal plan for them. I offer to come over and help them clean out their kitchen, get rid of all those processed foods, go grocery shopping with them, and teach them how to read the labels on packages. There's so many hidden sugars and hidden chemicals that we just don't need to eat. Trader Joe's is one of my favorite stores to go to here locally. And then, show them how to buy produce, how to, if it's new to them, help them with recipes on how to cook it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, exercise. But depending on, if somebody's at the 400-pound range and they can't walk because of pain or whatever, I want to get them in the water and then help them do laps that way. Because I find that when I was heavier, when I would be in the water, that extra water would help to lift the pressure off of my knees, my ankles, my hips, my back. So water aerobics to me, was a lifesaver.
Yeah, and you feel more free in the water too. I know you said that in your story.
Absolutely.
And had you went through a couple of accidents, right, as well?
4.
Wow.
4 auto accidents, all of them rear enders.
Oh, gosh, that's horrible. I've never, knock on wood, I haven't been in an accident, but I have been hit by a car full on. That was traumatic. I remember dealing with some issues with my leg and I had to go through therapy, but we did swimming classes and that would help alleviate the tension and the pain. Absolutely. I did that for about 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
I broke my tibia bone, so it was.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a lot.
I bet. A year is a long time to be in therapy.
It was, yeah. I had some other nicks and bang ups, so it was a
Yeah.
lot. My face was full of scars. Like, it was so bad. My teeth were knocked out. It was
Oh my,
traumatic.
wow, it sounds like it. Well, you look
Yeah.
great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Sort of like you, I came full circle, right?
Right. Exactly.
Do
um,
you do any yoga, Michele?
Absolutely. I love it.
Uh-huh.
I do yoga stretches in the morning before I get out of the bed. And then when I'm doing my, I have weightlifting Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we kind of incorporate yoga into that, the stretching as well.
Yeah, it's good to do that for sure.
Yeah, I loved it. I haven't been to a yoga class since the whole COVID thing started, so it's been a little bit. I'm eager to get back to it.
They have YouTube yoga. That's what I've been doing.
Oh, okay. Great idea.
Yeah, you can just do it like right in your home. It's great.
Okay.
Definitely, I think yoga and stretching is important because
Absolutely.
even when I'm doing yoga and stretching, just warming up to work out, it's easier
Right.
just to warm up.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And it gets you in that meditative state as well.
Yeah.
Makes you break through those barriers of the pain of stretching because it's one thing to lift weights and grow your muscles, but you got to take care of them too.
Absolutely. I think that's another reason why I like swimming so much, because when I'm in the water and let's say I feel like a twitch in my lower back or something, I can just float, stretch. I just bend over do like the cat cow while I'm swimming.
Love that.
It works.
And you said your journey has been about 7.5, 8 years. Did you have ups and downs in that journey, or was it
Oh
all?
gosh, yes. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there have been some times, I know one of the mistakes question that you guys had asked. I've made numerous mistakes and had a couple of setbacks along the way. One of them was a car accident. And unfortunately, I put a little bit of weight back on and then ended up having to lose it again. But like some of the mistakes that I've made were getting on the scale and only letting the number on the scale judge what my progress has been. I would encourage anybody to stay off the scale, change what they're eating, stay off the scale, but like maybe once every 2 weeks. Use it as a barometer, but more or less how your clothes fit, That's how I can tell if I'm putting a little bit back on or if I'm losing it a little bit, because my favorite shorts will start to feel a little tight. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to reel it back in.
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
And that can even be said for the girls that have those, or just people in general that have body
Image.
whatever, and they want to be bulimic and they want to be too skinny, and then they look at the scale and all their focus on is the scale, but in reality, if you gain a little muscle,
Yes.
you can have even higher body fat and be happier with how you
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I would say just gauge it really by the way that your clothes fit. And I know in today's world, we're so concerned about image and what people think. You have to throw that out the window. What other people think about the way I feel, the way I look, that's nobody else's business but my own.
Yeah. Amen to that.
It's such a shame to see these young girls, especially young girls, probably some young men too, out there doing the things that they do. And I don't know, it's very sad. It's very sad. I wish I could take them in and take them under my wing and say, okay, live with me for a week and let me teach you everything I know.
You could do that with your program for some of them that are interested, right?
Spend a day with Michele.
That's a good idea. What was that?
Just spend a day with Michele.
That's right. Exactly.
I mean, just that energy that you give off can change someone's perspective too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It does. But it also attracts some not so, let's say, wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's part of it too. But you just got to
Yes.
ignore it and focus on what your values and morals are. And then if you stick
Bingo.
to that, you're good to go.
Absolutely.
So, how do you see your business growing in the next couple of years? Like, what sort of things do you want to develop or, you know, move into with your business?
Well, I want to develop a talk, and I'd like to reach young adults at teen level and teach them the proper ways to eat healthfully, to ward off the bulimia or anorexia, and keep them kind of even keeled as they start their lives as young adults. And I'm working on a book right now as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to read it because just the little bit that you sent us, I was, like I said, it was a roller coaster ride. I was like feeling all kinds of emotions at once, and that rarely happens for me when I read certain books. So that was good. I felt really good about your
Wow.
story. Yeah.
Good to know. All right.
And then I know you, in your bio, you were talking about earlier relationships and just that
Yeah.
you are not in a good place for that. Do you think that eating healthier and then working out and having the self-love helped you make that decision to make the right decision for you?
Absolutely. Yes. Now it's like my life has done a complete turnaround, and it's so amazing. Now I don't, if somebody doesn't, if somebody comes to me and they have an attitude or let's say any type of negativity, it takes me 2 seconds and I do an about face and turn around and walk away. Sometimes that's really hard to do, especially if it's been a lifelong friend. But any of that negativity, I push it away. I have to. I don't have enough time in the day to deal with that. But as far as like friendships, we talked earlier about giving. I know now that what I give to somebody, especially like some of my best friends, what I can do for them and help them through, to me, is the ultimate thing. And I look at a relationship. I haven't been in a relationship with a man in a few years. But I'm at that point now where I feel like I'm ready. And as a matter of fact, I ordered more books yesterday on Amazon. And when I was ordering, I came across this one book, and it was called Praying for Your Future Husband, Preparing Your Heart for His. I was like, oh, that sounds right. That feels comfortable for where I am at my point in my life right now. I haven't met anybody that I'm aware of that's a Christian, has a Christian foundation, and that's into a healthy lifestyle. But those are my number 2 criteria. Probably about 2 years ago, I started dating a gentleman. He lasted 32 days. On the 31st day, he came with me out to Lucky's Lake. I introduced him to some of my friends that I swim with. And the entire car ride home, he told me how snotty my friends were and how mean they were and how stuck up they were. I'm like, who did you talk to? Because you didn't talk to my friends.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's usually a sign right there. If there's any sort of pounding on your life or negativity or fighting before you guys even are officially together,
Right.
that relationship probably is not going to go very well.
I said, thank you very much for coming today. I appreciate it. Have a nice life.
Hey, sometimes you have to do that, right? I mean, not everyone is for you.
No.
And eventually you will find that person and it will just feel natural.
Yes, exactly.
So, Michele, where can people find you if they want to get in touch and learn more about your programs?
The website is Happy Healthy Stylist, like hairstylist, happyhealthystylist.com.
Awesome. We're going to attach all the links to your websites and your social media in our description.
Oh, wow.
And
cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for coming on today. I mean, I'll speak for both CJ and I. It's been a pleasure. I mean, we've learned so much, and I think your story it's filled with up and downs, but it's beautiful because you did turn your whole life around. And that's what's important here. And that's, I think, what's inspiring to other people, that it is possible. It just takes some hard work, a little bit of faith, and a lot of love for yourself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love your energy too. I was going to the gym after this. Now I'm ready to actually kill it in the gym. So
Yes,
Well,
I
absolutely.
appreciate that.
Sure. Well, it's been a
Thank you
pleasure
so
meeting
much.
you guys. I hope to see you guys soon in person.
Yes, we'll have to go make a trip to, what was it, Lady Lake?
There's Lucky's Lake, which is
Lucky's
right
Lake.
here. It's Lake Kane, right behind Universal Studios. And then I swim also at the Rainbow River. So if you want to do like a river swim, 5 miles, let me know.
Let's do it.